Naomi, the Crafty Savage here, and I'm back for this week's Wip Chat. Look, I'm in my craft room, but I'm not at my drafting table because we'll talk about that, right? Where are my manners? My mama would hang me out to dry. How are you guys? I hope you're doing fabulous and wonderful. I am going to be, you can't see it, but I'm going to be dekidding. I hate dekidding, guys. I would rather kit up a painting than freaking dekid it, and that is probably why I have so many freaking storage containers. It's unreal. It's unreal the amount of storage containers that I have. I'm looking around my craft room like, girl, you need to get your butt in gear and like straighten up this craft room. Like I did it, maybe it wasn't a couple weeks ago, but I did have it like straightened up, and then I don't freaking know. I don't know what happens. All right, don't ask me. It is what it is, okay? But still, I still blame part of it of that whole awning ripping down during Ian, right? That I can't stick certain things in the closet anymore. Yes, that's what I'm going with, right? So let's get into it while I do this, shall we? We shall. So let's see. Last week, I don't know if you guys remember the whole, like, I am not the person to have on speakerphone, or if you have me on speakerphone, like, you really need to, like, let that be known. Like, let me know I'm on speakerphone. Because my boss, yep, it happened again, guys. It happened again. But this time, like, he wasn't, like, sitting in the builder's, like, right in front of the builder's office. And honestly, last week, like, I did not care. Did not care. But, so I'm on the phone with my boss. And here, he was at, like, a red light, right? So, obviously, like, I'm coming through the speakers of the truck as I'm talking to him, right? Now, he needs to learn that, like when he's driving and he's on the phone with me, to let me know when he stops at a stop sign or when he stops at a red light. So I'm not over here, saying things that I shouldn't be saying loudly, for everybody and their mother to hear. But no, right? And again, he set himself up for this one. This is all I'm going to say, okay? So I'm talking to him on the phone, like we're just BSing back and forth, about work and all that good gravy. Then all of a sudden, he's like, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of like half naked women out here. And I'm like, we live in Florida. Like, it's starting to get hot. Like, you're going to see more and more half naked women out here. And he's like, no. He's like, there's some like strip club right across the street. So, me thinking he's like driving down the road. No. This mofo is at a red light. What do I decide to do? I decide to yell titties into my phone, right? Which then went out through his speakers, through his truck, and everybody started looking at him. He's like laughing, and he's like, oh my God, I gotta turn you down. And I'm like, you should know, like, you gotta tell me these things. Like, I'm not being held responsible for that one. Like, yeah. Let me tell you, I don't. He warns me. I think after, last week and then, 2 weeks ago, yeah, he's now like, hey, I'm at a stop sign. I'm at a red light. Okay, I'm moving. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah. Only me, right? And then on Thursday after work, Allison called me. And she's on her way home from work, and it was bring your kid to work day. So she took her youngest kid, Odie. Odie. I love Odie. That's not her name. That's just her nickname. So, she took Odie to work with her. And, if you guys don't know, Allison is the one that sells cars. So, you know, I was sitting there and she's like, oh, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, da da da. And she was like, she was like, you know, I'm just calling for my, you know, my nightly, you know, check-in, da da da. And she's like, but it's a little different this time. And I was like, oh, like, why? Like, and she's like, I got Odessa in the car with me. And I'm like, oh, see, like she's smart. Like she knows, you know, like if there is like little chitlins around or I know I really embarrassed her at that Walmart. I really did. But most of the time, you know what I mean? Like if you let me know, like you got me on speakerphone or that like there's people around, like I will watch what I say or at least try to, because half the time, like I don't even know what's gonna pop out of this mouth. Like it just comes out, right? So so as she's like driving, you know, and like I'm talking to Odie and I'm like, so how did you like work? You know, did you like it better than school? And she's like, I don't like either of them. And I was like, girlfriend, like stay in school. It's a hell of a lot easier. And so I was like, you know, like, well, what did you do? And she's like, oh, I was, you know, she's like, I took a nap. And I'm like, you took a nap on the first day, you know? And Odie is, how old is Odessa? I think she's like 8 now. 7 or 8. So I was like, you took a nap? I'm like, and girlfriend, I'm like, they didn't fire you on your first day for taking a nap? Here she was also, you know, playing games on the laptop or her tablet. Yeah, I'm like, you're lucky you're cute, girl. Like, you would have been fired. Fired. Sleeping on the job, playing on your phone. The whole 9 yards, right? But she's just, she is so freaking cute. But yeah, so like I asked her, you know what I mean? So I was like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she wants to be an abstract artist. And I was like, okay. Like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I hope you change your mind. Like, I mean, I don't want to crush her dreams, but I'm like, look, girlfriend, like, if you want to eat, you want to be able to pay your bills, like, now I'm not saying that there's not artists out there, you know, now I'm going to sound like an applesauce. Now I really sound like an applesauce, but like, you get what I'm saying. Like, a lot of artists, like, they don't just become like famous overnight making buku money. I guess that's where I was trying to go with it, not trying to, anywho, moving along, right? Let's move along, right? So Friday rolls around, you know, and I'm talking to my boss, and he told me that, you know, like a builder was going to be calling me and that they had a credit card payment. Is this the, oh yeah, no, this is not the same. Oh, yeah, no. I was thinking, I was like, did I pick up the wrong paper? Because this is not the same builder, but here, it wasn't a credit card payment. They had a credit, because what they would do is they would be out on the job and they would just write my boss out a check just for a certain amount. What my boss does is he takes a picture of the check, emails it to me, goes and deposits it at the bank. So it's already in the bank by the time I get it. Well, here they had like, the guy was getting ready to like go away on vacation. And this was probably about 2-3 weeks ago. And he just wrote my boss out, you know, a check. And when like I went to go enter it is like when I realized that I'm like, this dude paid like $4 grand more than what he was supposed to. So here, like basically I had to wait for him to come back from vacation. So yeah, so I got that all taken care of, and that's not hard. That is pretty easy. But yeah. And then let's see, what else? Oh, so then also on Friday, so, you know, obviously I run to the bank on Friday, deposit the 1 subs check. And I went to go, Am I putting these in the wrong way? Dear Lord, baby Jesus, I tell you. So I went to go stop and check to see like if there was any mail. And now my one son, he now lives there, my youngest one. So whenever I go there, I always see him because he's just like a homebody. Doesn't freaking go anywhere. And then my oldest son actually just moved out and is now like in a dorm. So I went to check the mail, you know, and as I was walking out, like my youngest son, like we're sitting there, we're talking. And as I'm getting ready to like pull out, my oldest son comes up and I was like, holy crap. Like it's, since they've gotten older, because they'll be 19 and 21 this year, it's hard to get them like in the same place at the same time. And yeah, you know, and we all know the youngest was in Kentucky there for a little bit and then moved back to Florida. So yeah, I don't know. They're adults now, you know what I mean? But they're still not babies. But it was like, I told him, I was like, stop. I'm like, I want to get a picture. Let me video, you know, just like, cause it's, like I said, I usually, when I see them, it's like they come over to visit and they're not together. You know, it's like it's always separate. Like usually it's the youngest and then the oldest like came over for dinner. So like I said, they're never together. So to get them together anymore or even like have a picture of the two of them together, and yeah. So, and then, so I did that. And then Friday I stayed up way too late. Like I need to get myself back on schedule. Like I'm getting more than like 3 to 4 hours of sleep now, which is good, right? That's good. But I'm still like not going to bed really when I should. And it's not really that big of a deal like on Friday and Saturday night. I'm lying. It is, because then it kind of like affects Sunday where I'm up till like 2, 3 in the morning, and then Sunday rolls around and I want to stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning because I'm not tired. But then I'm like, you gotta get up tomorrow. Like, and we all know Monday is my busiest day where I'm like, out of all the days to be tired, like, no girl, like you need to use your brain. Like you got important stuff that you cannot mess up, right? Yeah. I think the only thing I'm like on Mondays that, I mean, and it can be fixed, you know, you just at the end of the quarter adjust it, but, or you file like an amendment. I don't know, a freaking correction. Dear Lord, baby Jesus, I cannot think today. But yeah, so we file like a correction and you can like fix it. But I'm not trying to mess up, you know, like the payroll taxes. Like if I mess everything else up, you know what I mean? Like if I screw somebody's hours up, not that I want to, you know what I mean? Or whatever. That, like, it's easier to fix where it's like, okay, well, if I gave them too many hours, we'll just deduct those hours from next week. Or if I didn't pay them for, you know, I can either run an unscheduled payroll or just add it into the following week type of thing. Like with billing, if I were to screw that up, again, not that I want to screw it up, but it's just, you know, that stuff is easier to fix than screwing up the taxes. Like it becomes such a nightmare. And the thing is, it's like you usually don't catch it until the end of the quarter. And then you're like, what the hell did I do? Yeah. I have overpaid. I've never underpaid the taxes, but I have overpaid the taxes where I guess like I went online and I paid them, and then I don't know, maybe I ran to the bank and came back and was like, oop, I gotta hop on here and pay the taxes, and like did it again. I don't know how I did it. It only happened the one time, but I overpaid on the taxes. But yeah, I hate taxes. I hate taxes. I really do. Like, they make me nervous. You know, and my boss is like, well, you know, it's not the end of the world, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, till we get a freaking fine. Like, but that's neither here nor there. So then on Saturday, like, as you guys can probably see, I'm like burnt, but we'll get to that, right? So last week was kind of like there's things that I don't talk about here on the channel, that it's just like, it's not a good week for me. You know, some of you guys know, not a lot of you know, it's not something that maybe somewhere down the line I will share it, but I'm not going to share it now. But like last week just was not kind of like a good week for me. So I'm like, I'm gonna, you know, go to the beach. I'm gonna, you know, and every time like something negative, or like I would start to like feel myself getting depressed, like I would just be like, think of something positive, you know, like just trying to flip that mindset, because I know that if I get myself stuck in that mindset and with that situation, like I easily can just shut completely down. And I'm like, no, like you're not allowed to do that. Like, you did that for about a year, you know what I mean? And you gotta eventually come out and face the rest of the world and deal with the rest of the world, even though it feels like yours has ended. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go to the beach, because it's like there's still some snowbirds here, but for the most part it's not as many, so the roads aren't as bad. Well, here, by the time I woke up on Saturday, like it was too late. Like, and I knew, I was like, I mean, I could drive to the beach. It's like a 15-20 minute drive. It's like less than 8 freaking miles away from me. So, I mean, I could easily drive there. That's not the problem. The problem is if you don't get there by a certain time, like, good luck finding a parking spot. Like, eventually you will, after you circle the parking lot for like an hour or two. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not playing that parking lot game. Like, I'm not doing it. I don't find that enjoyable. I'm like, I don't consider that going to the beach, right? So I was like, you know, we're just not gonna go to the beach today, you know. And then I did the like dance party, Saturday dance party. Sorry, I'm just like, it hurts to move, guys. You have no clue. And I like swept and mopped my floors downstairs, and usually it's like I vacuum, I clean the bathroom, dust, you know, like the whole thing on Saturday. And I was just like, you know what? Nope, I'm just gonna like do absolutely nothing. So that's what I did. Now, whenever I go, you know, downstairs and I'm like, so I know what I'll be doing this weekend. I'll be cleaning. But yeah. And then, so in my my Wip Chat video, I think it was my Wip Chat video, right? I think it was my Wip. Oh yes, I think it was my Wip Chat video where I was like, you know, I got to put away like a bunch of laundry. You know, I was talking about that, and I was like, you know, somebody remind me about that. Well, here comes freaking Judy in my comments. Did you put away your laundry? I'm like, ouch. Freaking shots fired. No, I did not. I was like, crap, I even asked for it. I was like, somebody, comment down below. Remind me, to go hang up my shirts. Because, like I said, like, I don't mind doing the laundry. I'll do the laundry. I'll fold the laundry. I'll put the stuff away in the freaking drawers. I absolutely hate hanging the freaking clothes up on the hanger. I don't know why. It's so easy. It doesn't take that long, but I hate it. So yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that now. Then Judy comes back with send me a video as proof. I'm like, oh, you freaking dirty bird. Like, now you're really gonna have to make me like put these freaking shirts away. So I was like, yep, I just gotta record this video and upload it, and I'll put them away then, right? I did not put them away, guys. I did not. No. I did not put them away on Saturday. And then, as you guys know, my birthday was on Monday. And this kind of like irritated me. I don't talk to my real dad. And there are kind of like reasons why I don't talk to him. There's, but he sends me a message on Facebook and he's like, happy birthday. And I'm like, we're still in freaking April. Like, my birthday is the first freaking day of May. Like, as soon as we hit May, bam, here I am, right? And it's just like, I'm like, you can't even remember what day my freaking birthday is? Like, it's not like he's got like Alzheimer's or dementia, you know what I mean? Because then that would be something totally different. Like, I would be a big applesauce, you know what I mean, for like getting upset about it. But it's just like, how can you not remember when your freaking kid's birthday is? Like, I've been on this planet for a few years now. Like, you should know that my birthday is not May 29 or April 29. Like, I don't even want to get into it because, like I said, there's reasons why I don't talk to my real dad. I can't wrap my brain around certain things, and I can't do it, So sometimes you just gotta cut like toxic people out of your life, It doesn't matter if they're family or not. Like, I guess, long story short, to sum it up, like, whenever I talk to my dad, like, he just emotionally just freaking whacks me the hell out. And it took me a lot of years to like realize that, where it was like, I would like conversate with them, and by the time I was done, like, my emotions were just all over the freaking place. And I'm like, it's so chaotic. And like, literally, like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, I just can't. And so I just chose, I'm like, you know what? Like, no, I don't have to talk to you. And I don't, you know what I mean? And like I said, there's lots of reasons. But yeah, like that just kind of like, it just freaking irritated me that I was like, I'm like, I mean, I don't talk to you, but you could at least get my birthday right? Like, you are like at least my sperm donor, right? Like, I don't freaking get it. I don't understand. But you know what? Maybe I'm just not meant to understand. So Sunday, I wake up, I got up early, like, I didn't have to take Lady out. I quickly ran Roscoe out. Now, I think the problem was I was not prepared, right? So I get to the beach. It's probably like about like 10 o'clock, 10:30. Like, you're like, oh, that's still kind of, nope. There was no Like, no freaking parking. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out circling around this freaking, you know, parking lot trying to find a spot. And it's also one of them that, like, somebody could be backing up and literally you could be like trying to pull in this spot and somebody will jump into it. And then, you know, it makes me mean. And then I start cussing people out and I'm like, you know what? Like, no, you're better than that. Like, you are better than that. So yeah, I just try not to put myself in that situation. And yeah, so I was like, screw this, you know, like, I'm not going to the beach. Let me tell you, like, I attempted to go to the beach. Well, I attempted to go to the beach 2 times. Saturday, like I said, I woke up late. Sunday, I got there and I'm like, I ain't playing these. No, it was 3 times I attempted to go to the beach before I finally made it to the beach. Like I said, Saturday, I woke up too late and I'm like, that's not going to happen. Sunday, I get there, I'm like, I'm not playing the parking lot game. We're going to get into Monday. So yeah, so after I decided that I'm not playing the parking lot game at the beach, I was like, I'm going to go to the bookstore. And that's what I did. I took myself to the bookstore. I got a couple books that I've been like reading. And then I just kind of came home. Then I recorded myself, you know, like hanging up the shirts. Then I recorded them, putting them in the closet, and I sent them to Judy so she could get off my back. I love you, Judy. I do. Thank you for holding me accountable, making me be an adult. I don't like adulting, girlfriend. I don't like it. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, and then, so after I, like, hung my shirts up, which it really wasn't that many. Like, I don't know why. I'm just like, I'll do it later. And they just sit there, you know. And then I just wind up wearing them, tossing them in the, you know, laundry basket, and then just washing them, right? That's what we all do, right? Tell me I'm not alone. No, but I do. I have a lot of clothes. Like, I need to go through my clothes because I don't know, half the stuff, like, I don't even wear anymore. And I'm like, well, why are you holding on to them? Because we all know it's like a pair of shoes, you know, a pair of shoes you never wear. You get rid of that freaking pair of shoes, right? You might not have worn them for like 2-3 years. You get rid of that pair of shoes, right? And then you got to go somewhere and you got this outfit and you're like, oh, I know the perfect pair of shoes, forgetting that you gave them away. And then what? Right? Then you got to go out and buy more shoes. And of course, you're not going out and just buying one more pair of shoes. No, at least not me. No, I love shoes. I really do. For a girl who, like, lives in freaking flip-flops or is barefoot all the time, like, I love shoes. I think I need to, when I lived in Pennsylvania, I definitely, like, well, you had, like, the different seasons and all that, and yeah, like, I switched my shoes out, you know, more, where here it's like, either it's raining or it's freaking hot. Like, I have tan lines on my foot, like, not from this, but I have tan lines, like, on my feet just from, just like every day, just normal having to go outside, take the dog out, walk to the car, walk to the mailbox type of thing. Like, you get tan lines from your freaking, like, flip-flop lines on your foot. It just, yeah, like, it gets hot here, guys. It really does. And then, so yeah, I soaked in the tub, and then I was reading. Now, I know better, right? So before I got in the tub, I was like, let me turn my AC off, right? Because the way my bathroom, like, upstairs is situated, you come through the door and there's, like, the sink and this big mirror and the door, and then, like, the toilet and the bathtub. Well, above the door is the vent, right? Now, unless I want to be like a spider monkey or something, like, this vent, like, the way it's angled, like, I'm not tall enough to, like, move it. So, I mean, without, you know, having to, like, build a freaking jungle gym to, like, get up there to try to move it. So I just turn it off, because let me tell you, there's nothing like either getting out of a nice hot shower, right? Or getting out of like a nice hot warm tub for that cold air to hit you. Like, I don't do the cold. I'm not about it. Nope. Give me the heat and I will be fine. I don't like the cold. Not at all. Like, no. So like, I was literally like, oh dear Lord, baby Jesus. Like, I just wanted to curl up like in the fetal position on the bathroom floor and just like freeze to death right there. Like, yes. Like, that's what it felt like. I know I'm probably being over dramatic. It is what it is, right? So I thought I turned it off, right? Well, here it's like one of them, like where you got like the heat off and AC. So here, I guess, like when I pushed it to like, or I thought I pushed it up to the middle where it said off, and it was like still on the AC a little bit. I guess it must have like hit the temperature in my house that I have it set for, that it just automatically will shut off. And then if it rises, it automatically turns back on. So I didn't notice when I got into the bathtub, right? It was after I got out. Or no, I think I was in the bathtub at one point, because I knew like getting out, I was like, this is not going to be fun. I'm like, you dumb idiot. Like, you are submerged in warm water with cold air, like shooting right at the bathtub. Yeah. It was not fun. So yeah, like I didn't push it all the way up to off, and it was not fun at all. Let's see what else happened. Yeah, that was, and then on Monday, so Monday was my birthday. Woohoo, happy birthday to me. I was like, after attempting to go to the beach, twice this weekend, once actually like successfully actually driving there. I turned around to my boss and I was like, hey, like I said, Mondays are like my busy days. So like, he knows, like, I'm not going to take the day off on Monday. I don't usually, like, if I go on vacation, like, I make sure I'm back on Monday so that I can do the payroll and the subs and the billing and all that. So he knew kind of like when I was like, yeah, like, do you mind if I just take like a half day? Like, I just kind of just like want to go to the beach, just kind of just peaceful, He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, just make sure you get, the payroll done, the payroll taxes. He's like, everything else, he's like, it can wait for tomorrow. And I was like, awesome. Except it reminded me as to why I don't do half days, like, unless it's like I'm rolling out, like when I drove up to Pennsylvania, like I think I took a half day, and still even then it was like the same thing happened. It's like basically like I didn't start payroll until 11:30. Like, usually I'm at the bank anywhere between 11:30 and 12:30 depositing the checks. So so starting payroll at 11:30, and it was just like every time I turned around, I'd be getting a phone call like, hey, you haven't left yet, have you? This is really important. I need you to get this done. Hey. Like, I'm coming back from the bank. And at this point, it's probably like 2. And he was like, hey, like, you didn't leave yet, did you? And I'm like, no. I'm literally coming back from the bank right now, heading to my house. I'm not taking a half day today. I'm like, it's not gonna happen. And he was like, oh, well, you still have time. I'm like, I'm not taking the half day. It's not gonna happen. Like, by the time I drive down to the beach, there's gonna be no freaking parking. Like, I would have played the parking lot game in the afternoon, but no, like, one because it's not as busy on the weekdays as it is on the weekends. So I get home and he calls me and he was like, are you sure you don't wanna? And I'm very like, I'm nice at first, you know what I mean? And then I'm not nice. And I'm not always nice with him because I've known him all my life, but it was like, I like was just like, no, like, I'm not going, da-da-da-da. And then he turns around, because I told him, I was like, look, I'm like, I just really just want to go to the beach. I'm like, so what I'm going to do is, like, I'm just going to work my regular Monday instead of taking the half day, and I'm just going to take the full day. Like, and I took Tuesday off, and damn right I freaking took Tuesday off. I was like, look, I asked for a half a day. Like, you couldn't even, like, let me get my stuff done, because it was always like, hey, you haven't left yet. I really need this done. Like, oh, this really needs to be done. So I'm like, yeah, watch this. This is going to really need to be done. Like, because I'm getting up Tuesday, like, and I even told him, like, at one point I was, like, sitting outside and I'm talking to him, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, if the freaking IRS needs something, like, they can wait till Wednesday. Like, I don't care. Like, that's where I was at. Like, I was getting, like, trying to stay positive. You know what I mean? Because I don't like being negative. I don't like being around negative people. So I'm, like, trying to stay positive, but just things going on. I'm like, I could feel myself, like, starting to slip back into that, like, negative and being mean. And I'm like, you need to do something, Naomi. Like, you need to do something. And I'm like, the only thing I could think of was go to the beach. Like, that's my freaking happy place. Like, I could be in the worst freaking mood, and I go to the beach, and it's just, like, beautiful. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, yeah. And also on Monday, like, I think it was, like, in the high 70s, which, yes, I know, to, like, you people that like to live, you know, where it's freaking cold. I don't know why you torture yourself like that. That sounds warm, right? Down in Florida, like, the high 70s, that's cold. The low 80s is cold. Like, it's, once we, in the next couple weeks here, like, once it hits the summer months, like, it gets so hot. Because, like, right now, it's like what the temperature is what it feels like. In the next couple of weeks, what the temperature says, like, just add anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees more onto it, and that's what it feels like with the humidity. So, yeah, I'm like, no. But, yeah, so, like, we talked, and I don't know, we probably talked for about a good 40 minutes, and I was just, you know, telling him different things, and I was just like, you know, I'm like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know, so he was like, well, the only thing I need you to do, you know, before you go, and I'm like, oh, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Because, like, I told him, I was like, look, I don't care if I'm working till 9, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at freaking night, you know, or 12 o'clock in the morning. Like, whatever you need done for tomorrow, like, send it my way, because, like, I'm going to the freaking beach tomorrow. Like, nothing is stopping me. And the only thing I did have to do, but I basically, like, I already cut the check. I had to cut a check for the supply yard, but he put a check in the bank that day on Monday, and it's like, not all of it is, like, they only release so much, and then the rest of it clears, you know, the next day. So I couldn't scan the check over to the supply yard because the money wasn't there yet. So I was like, okay. So literally, like, I worked kind of late on Monday night, and I had, like, already cut the check. I already scanned it in. Like, I had, like, the email saved as a draft. So literally on Tuesday, all I had to do was just, like, open up my email, go into my drafts, hit send, and it was done. Like, and that's what I did on Tuesday morning. But let's get into Monday. So on Monday, like, my baby brother, I don't really talk about him all that much. And it's only because I think the last time I saw him was about 4 years ago, and that was at Demon Seed's wedding. So he called me like to wish me a happy birthday, which I was like shocked. I was like, you never call me, but okay. And I talked to him, and I miss him. I do. I miss my freaking siblings. I love living in Florida. Like, I love the warm weather. I love just the, like, I don't know. There's them damn freaking sirens. I apologize, guys. Like, where I live, you have to go down the road where I'm at to get to both the hospitals. There's one hospital that way, one hospital that way. But what was I saying? Oh, about my siblings. So, I love Florida. Like, let me take that back. I have a love-hate relationship for Florida, right? There are certain things about Florida that, like, I love the weather. Hurricane season, when the hurricanes come through, you know what I mean? I can pass on that. But in Pennsylvania, you got, tornadoes and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, hurricane, tornado, yeah, pick your poison, right? So, but I miss the, like, just going over to, like, my siblings' house on the weekends, or just after work, like, driving to my sister's house and just hanging out with her. Like, it's those times that I'm like, I miss PA. And I don't know. They need to figure out when these girls are getting christened, so, like, I can just get, like, my sibling fix and be like, okay, peace out. Let me know when you guys are moving to Florida, because I ain't moving where it's cold. Like, unless you guys are gonna, like, build me a heated tunnel to my car that just, like, as soon as I open my car door, like, it just shoots out from the car to wherever I need to go in the wintertime. Like, you're gonna come shovel, like, my snow and all that, like, deal with the ice, like, start the car up for me in the morning. Like, no. Like, when I say, like, I don't like the cold. I do not like the cold. Yeah. And then, let's see what else happened. So I got, like, a text from my sister-in-law and Demon Seed. I talked to Allison, like, she called me on her way home from work, and she's, like, wishing me happy birthday and all that. And it, like, dawned on me that, like, that's the other thing. Like, I miss my best friends. Like, these mofos just need to pack their crap up and move to Florida where it's freaking warm and they don't have to deal with snow, right? My brother-in-law is just going to have to relocate his, business down here. I don't know what to tell him. Tough, you know what I mean? Like, just move to freaking Florida. But, like, with Allison, so, like, on my birthday, she would make me, like, just a birthday dinner, and she'd be like, like, well, what do you want? I'll make it for you. And when I say, like, she's a freaking really good freaking cook. She cooks healthy. She has gotten me to eat things that, like, I'd be like, nope, like, that ain't going in my mouth. But it tastes so good that I eat it. The one thing, like, I will not eat is green beans. Like, you cannot, I don't care how fantastic you tell me they are, like, I'm not eating green beans. I'm not doing it. So this biatch, right? So I'm telling her, I was like, well, you know what I miss? I'm like, if I was in Pennsylvania, I'm like, you would be making me a birthday dinner. And she's like, yeah, I would. She's like, well, how about this? She was like, the next time you're up, just let me know what you want, and I'll make you dinner. And I'm like, okay. So she was like, well, what do you want? And I was like, Allison food. And she was like, okay, so I'm going to make you green beans. And I'm like, oh, you freaking dirty bird. Like, because she knows, like, she's tried. Like, believe me, she has tried. There is a reason that, and it has to do with, like, when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, green vegetables, when you're a kid, you're like, eh. But a lot of the stuff that like I wouldn't eat as a kid, like I'll eat now. Green beans is not one of them. Like it is not one of them, and that has to do with my one uncle was married to this freaking, oh my gosh, she was a witch. And me and my brother were over there, and I told her, like, I don't like green beans. Like, they make me sick. Like, they make, like, literally make me sick. And she made green beans for, like, lunch or something, and she put them on my plate. And I was like, I don't want to eat them. And she made me eat them. And as I was eating them, like, I threw up on my plate, and she made me eat everything that was on the plate and that is why, like, I don't care what it is. Like, I don't care. I mean, Allison probably makes some really good freaking green beans. Like, I won't, like, nope, that is just like a thought, like, that just does not even cross my brain. I won't even entertain it. Like, I can't do it. No, I can't. And then, my mama called, and I talked to my mama for like an hour and a half on the phone. And we were just, you know, talking about different things and all that. And finally I was like, look, I'm like, I gotta really freaking pee. You know, so she was like, oh, okay. And she was supposed to be over yesterday. Are you watching this, the mama? Like, you said you were gonna come over here once you got done swimming. Where are you? Because you didn't come over. Anywho, okay, now that I'm done yelling at my mama. I love her, I really do. I'd be lost without my mom. But yeah, so I talked to her for like an hour and a half, and then I had to, did I record? No, I did not record the video. I meant to, but I didn't. I think I was like upstairs, and my uncle called me. And my uncle he's kind of more like a dad to me, honestly. Like, he's helped raise me a big part of my life. Like, except obviously when I lived in Hawaii, you know what I mean? He wasn't there because he's in Pennsylvania, I'm in Hawaii. But it's like when we moved back from Hawaii, I don't think there's, like, looking back, it's like he's always been there some type of way. He's always, like, helped out doing things that, like, he didn't have to do, but he did. And so he called me, and every year he calls me and he'll sing, you know, happy birthday to me. And his health isn't, how do I put this? Long story short, I got off the phone with him, and I was like, I kind of like started crying because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get that, you know, like, him calling me next year, you know, to sing happy birthday, because he couldn't even sing the whole happy birthday. But it's just like, it means so much to me, because like when my stepdad died, I remember being at my aunt and uncle's house, and me and my uncle were in the kitchen, and I turned around to him and I was like, you're not allowed to die. Like, you're not allowed. You know what I mean? Like, you have to stay around forever. Like, you are the only one. Like, my real dad's alive, but like, again, like I said, there's reasons I don't talk to him. You know, and that was like almost 18 years ago, you know, and he turned around and he's like, Nay, I'll always be here, you know, and like, realistically, like, you know what I mean? People aren't going to be around forever. And he's 70, he's 72, or he'll be 72 this year. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know how much time I have left with him. And I'm like, I don't know, like, it just, I mean, I was so grateful, you know what I mean, that like, and he did, like, he has like basically done that for almost the last 18 years since my stepdad died. And like I said, I think it just like, it hit me that I'm like, that might be, you know, like the last happy birthday that he sings to you. Like, I hope not. Like, I really hope not. But it's like, I don't know if he's going to be around come next May again. Anywho, right? Let me get out of my freaking feelings over here. But yeah, but by the end of Monday night, like, I felt so much freaking love. Like, between my family, between you guys on YouTube, between Instagram, Facebook, like, the people I've met on TikTok, like, I felt so freaking loved. Like, just, I can't thank everybody enough. You know, obviously the TikTok people don't know about YouTube, so I don't know what to, I thank them on TikTok. But, you know, to like the people on Facebook, you know, YouTube, Instagram, like, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, you guys really made my day, made me feel loved. Like, even as I was like upset that I couldn't go to the beach on Monday, like I said, by the end of the night, like, I was just like, you know what, like, you're blessed, Naomi. Like, you are really blessed that all these people love you. So thank you. Let's see. Tuesday. Yep. So Tuesday, like, when I say like Monday night, like, I had it planned out. Like, okay, this is the bathing suit that I'm wearing. This is the clothes that I'm wearing. Like, I had like the bag packed. Like towel, the blankets always in my car. But it was like, so literally all I had to do was get up, take Roscoe out, send this email out. I grabbed my bag, I got in my car, like, and I went, right? And I got to the beach. It was probably like around, like 9:30 in the morning by the time I got there. And no problem finding a parking spot. Like I said, during the weekdays, it's easier to find a parking spot than it is on the weekends. But now when it's like snowbird season, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not finding a parking spot. Like, you got to get there like really early. Like, I'm talking like 6 o'clock in the freaking morning. So like, I found a spot like right up front. I got out, like, and just all, like, I don't know what it is. The beach is my freaking happy place. Like, it makes me so happy. And like, just by the time I leave, like, I don't know what it is. It's just like the feeling of the sand in between my toes, like the ocean. Like, I can be literally in the worst freaking mood, and I go to the beach, and by the time I leave, like, I just feel so much like peace and happiness. And it's like, I just sit there and I like look out at the ocean, and it's like so freaking big. Like, the ocean is so big when you're sitting back on the beach. Like, it just looks like it just keeps going out and out and out. And you look to the side, on both sides, like, and it just seems like it just keeps going, right? So then it's kind of like, it makes like, this is like not problems, but it's like your problems are like your worries, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say like insufficient, but it kind of just makes it seem like they're not as big as what you're making them out to be. And I just sit there and I just like reflect, and I don't know, it's like I said, like, it does something to my soul, like deep down inside. So yeah. And then, you know, one of the ladies on TikTok, she was like, oh, I'm jealous. And I was like, well, come on down. Like, come on down. Like, I will take you there. I'm like, and I'm trying to like entice her. And I'm like, there's a bar on the beach. So she was like jealous. And when I posted or she posted something, and we were like commenting back and forth, and I was like, I'm on my way to the beach. And I told her, I was like, I'll have a drink for you, you know? And I was like, I think the night before we were commenting, I don't know if we were messaging each other or whatnot, but I was like, yeah, I'm like, I just got to remember, you know what I mean? Because I told her I'd have a drink for her, I think Monday night. I don't freaking know. At some point I told her I would have a drink for her, right? So when the bar finally opened, I, you know, went up there. I ordered a strawberry margarita. Like, it was not something that like I normally drink. Like, I'm normally like a give me a beer and I'm happy type of girl. But I was just like, you know, it's your birthday. Like, let's do, I don't know, step out your norm, you know, because I think that's also like, I'm trying to step out my norm, where I was like so afraid to go out and do things by myself since I moved to Florida. And part of that was I was so freaking broken when I moved down here. But it was like, I think it's like, and you guys have heard me where I'm like, I don't go out and do stuff by myself. Like, it's Florida. Da, da, da. And when I lived in Pennsylvania, like, I didn't care. Like, I would go out and do things by myself, no problem. But like I said, since moving to Florida, I haven't been that way. And I'm like, you need to get back to that. Like, how are you supposed to meet somebody? Like, what, through work? What are they going to do? Like, come work at your house? Like, good luck, mother effer. Like, I'm not letting you in my door. Like, so I'm like, yeah, so it's not like you can meet somebody like that. Like, the freaking dating websites, like, I'm so over that freaking garbage. Like, I'm so just done with it, right? So I'm just like, you know what? Like, when I'm supposed to meet somebody, like, that's when I'm supposed to meet them. But I'm like, well, then you need to, like, take yourself out and socialize. So, yeah. So I took myself to the beach all by myself, you know, and I had fun. Until, so, you know, I had one strawberry daiquiri, and I was like, yeah, that was really good. Like, let's have another one, right? When I say, like, this bartender, like, she was not skimpy with that alcohol either, right? So, like, the first one, I don't want to say, like, I didn't feel it. Like, I did, you know, but it wasn't, like, I wasn't drunk. I had maybe, like, a little slight buzz, right? By the second one, oh, I was like, whew, I'm like, girl, go lay your butt down on that beach. Like, go pull out your book, like, do what you gotta do, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to read, and I'm like, I don't feel like reading. So I put the book back, and I stuck my headphones in, and I was like listening to music, and I started off like laying on my stomach, right? So it was like an hour, like, and I would turn my plan was to turn every hour. So, you know, I like laid on my stomach for an hour, and then I turned. Then I was listening to music. And I don't know what happened, but like, I guess I was just like so relaxed that, yep, I fell asleep. I fell asleep for 2 freaking hours on the beach. When I say, like, I am burnt, like, it hurts to have clothes on right now, guys. So, yeah, like, and I even put, like, sunscreen on, but like, to give you an idea, yeah, like, you see that, like, white, red, white, red, right? Yeah. So note to self, like, I think the next time I do that, like, I need to set an alarm on my phone, so that way if I do fall asleep, like, it's gonna wake. That's not always necessarily true. Hopefully it will wake me up so I know, like, hey, ding dong, like, let's not fry yourself, flip. Yeah, right? But, yeah. And then today, like, I just more or less, like, it wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. Like, I just kind of had, like, some proposals, you know, that I needed to catch up, but it really was not nearly as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So I just kind of like caught up on work, and Now I'm sitting here de-kitting this kit, getting ready to kit it up because I got my DP bug back. So probably next week, I'm probably not going to be working on that Treasure Studio art one. I think the drills keep popping and I'm just, it's aggravating where I don't want to work on it. But you know what, guys? I'm getting hungry. My stomach is over here freaking growling. With that said, I'm going to hop on out of here. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!